The Markles are once again feeding their friendly press with fabricated stories about King Charles anxiously wanting to reconcile with his supposedly loving son, Harry. They respinning tales that the king is preparing to fly across the pond to have a heart-to-heart talk with his estranged son. Don't believe a single word of it. The press release sent out to their media claims that Charles is ready to go the extra mile and put in the effort to see Harry in the States, suggesting it as a huge sign that he's serious about healing their bond. It seems the king might be more open than ever to tackling their issues head-on and working towards peace. Let us address the massive elephant in the palace, the extraordinary deceit perpetrated by Harry and his actress wife, who presented the royal family with 2 children that nobody can talk about. 2 invisible kids that the press can ask about. The press has been gagged, unable even to report this news blackout being in place. If Charles, weakened from battling cancer and the debilitating effects of chemotherapy, was indeed able or willing to travel to California, would we see pictures of him rolling on the carpet with his 2 lovely grandchildren, just as the late Queen did with Archie, as Harry once excitedly told us? Of course not. Would the king, upon his return to the UK, even mention the 2 beautiful children? He dare not! This is because the royal family knows the game is almost up. They are fully aware that one day the world will learn the truth, and they want no part of it, even though we all suspect they were complicit in the fake pregnancy scam. At present, the royals are wisely distancing themselves from Harry and his cunning wife. And for good reason. They are out of sight and out of mind, as one prominent journalist put it. Meghan Markle has jumped in first, telling us the king is considering meeting them in America. She's leaving the door open to criticize Charles when it's reported he wanted to be going. Then she'll tell us Harry is willing to visit Buckingham Palace on his own to make peace with the king before he passes away. Never underestimate what this despicable woman will do to keep herself in the news. Meghan's manipulative tactics and relentless hunger for attention are as transparent as they are appalling. If the king was too busy to meet Harry in London on Wed 8 May, when the traitor attended the Invictus service at St. Paul's Cathedral, then how would he have time to fly to SoCal to meet him even if he were in good health? The palace should put out a statement flatly denying this garbage and calling it out for what it is, an outright falsehood. Because until they do, this will keep happening time and again. You would think they would learn by now. Meghan and Harry are incapable of telling truths at all. The royal family is done with them, and I don't blame them because, as I've said, their mental illnesses are the most dangerous, and they are dangerous to society. They can't be at all trusted ever. Let us not forget Harry and Spare said he wanted to blow up Dad's car. Meghan said we are only one plane crash from the throne, and I know the royal family has increased security around them and the royal family. So a lot of media speaks the truth, and so does the family of Meghan. Tom called Charles, warning him of Megnut's plan to put him in a mental hospital. Meghan's plans are to wait the 10 years for California's laws to take effect, where all he has becomes hers, and Mommy and her then will probably kill him. Meghan is also waiting for his 40th birthday when he is supposed to get all his inheritance, but Harry's aunt has his back. She was left in charge of Harry and William's money by order of the Queen, and Anne can delay giving Harry's money till even older, and until Meghan went, he's never going to get it. The royal family is playing the end game and will eventually give these 2 grifters enough rope to hang. I'd like to see them swing. She probably did as a yacht girl. Oh no, never wrestle with a pig. You both get dirty and the pig likes it. You know that Buckingham Palace had put out a statement that Harry had never asked to see the king when he was there on May 8th. Charles did offer him lodgings at St. James Palace, but Harry turned it down, stating that it wasn't safe enough, when, in fact, Meghan had flown in with him and was hiding out at the hotel. They then hooked up to fly to Nigeria, laughing all the way, except when she caused a scene on the plane because they were given business class seats instead of first class. So she loudly argued with the staff. Never did hear where they finally sat, but she was not a happy camper. Harry can leave his freak anywhere behind. He didn't accept the lodgings because there were security cameras all over their lands, and Meghan was not allowed near anywhere royally owned per Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family Harry knew would get caught. Meghan poisoned his sex and Harry is the junkie. Certainly. What are they going to come up with next? No way is the king going to visit them poppycock isn't tea in it. They are starting rumors. trying to start a reconciliation narrative in the press to put pressure on the royal family. They must be getting desperate, shoring up fences for a place to run when the time comes. It is Harry and Meghan and their cronies who are giving out all of the misinformation and disinformation. It is getting so bad that they believe everything they put out is the truth, and their crazy followers make it 10 times worse. In light of the recent health challenges faced by His Majesty King Charles, his oncology doctor has strongly advised him to excise all negative and toxic relationships from his life until such time as he is feeling well. This recommendation is aimed at ensuring that His Majesty can focus entirely on his recovery and maintain a positive and supportive environment during this critical period. Given the seriousness of the King's health and the necessity for him to prioritize his well-being, there will be no further meetings or discussions with his son Harry and his wife, Meghan. This decision has not been made lightly, but it is deemed essential to prevent any additional stress or emotional turmoil that could potentially hinder the King's recovery process. She is beyond delusional. The royal family has wiped their hands of this pair of pathetic wannabes, especially wiped clean of the wife whose name can't even be mentioned in front of the royal family. The audacity and sheer ignorance of Meghan to think that she holds any significant standing within the royal family's sphere is laughable at best. Next, we'll probably hear some absurd announcement that Prince William is taking the family for a fortnight's holiday in the Californian mansion of horrors so that the Princess of Wales can recuperate. It's all a load of hogwash, as the King's diary is filled almost a year in advance. The idea that the royal family would entertain any further involvement with Harry and Meghan, especially amidst such turbulent times, is nothing short of a farce. Their continuous attempts to remain relevant through fabricated stories and exaggerated claims are transparent and desperate. Meghan's delusions of grandeur and misplaced self-importance only further alienate her from the reality that the royal family has moved on, completely severing ties with the troublesome duo. What Meghan fails to comprehend is the meticulous and pre-planned nature of royal engagements. The King's diary, filled almost a year in advance, leaves no room for impromptu reconciliations or whimsical visits to a Californian mansion. The royal family's obligations and duties to the nation far outweigh any inclination to entertain the incessant drama perpetuated by Harry and Meghan. Their lives are dictated by a strict schedule of public service, ceremonial duties, and national interests, not by the self-serving narrative spun by those who have chosen to abandon their responsibilities. Moreover, the very suggestion that Prince William would consider taking his family to the so-called Mansion of Horrors is preposterous. The Princess of Wales, dedicated to her role and responsibilities, does not require recuperation in the superficial sanctuary that Meghan and Harry call home. Their life in California, filled with media appearances and opportunistic ventures, stands in stark contrast to the dignified and duty-bound existence of the royal family. The continuous stream of outlandish claims and fabricated stories from Meghan and Harry's camp only serves to highlight their desperation for attention and relevance. It is clear that their departure from royal duties was not a quest for privacy, but a calculated move to exploit their titles for personal gain. The royal family, in their wisdom, have chosen to rise above this pettiness, maintaining their dignity and focusing on their true purpose. So Meghan's delusions and Harry's misguided loyalty to her will only lead them further into obscurity. The royal family will continue to thrive, upholding the traditions and values that have sustained them for centuries. The real story is not about a fictitious reconciliation, but about the royal family's unwavering dedication to their roles and responsibilities, free from the shadow of those who chose a different path. If it continues, sick of all the nonsense coming from Meghan, as if the king has spoken to them. The king has cancelled his trip to the Pacific Island nation and New Zealand and shortened his trip to Australia on Dr. S. orders. Does one think he will make a trip to the USA to visit fuckwits who give him so much grief? Does this feral black lowlife ever sleep? Looks like she is busy day and night plotting and planning. Nothing good, I might say, to make the world a better place, being Duchess and all. Constantly showing a one-up on the royal family. Kundball! Just look at what the real royal family is up to. They are keeping calm and carrying on, performing their duty and enjoying life. She can keep doing silly things to keep herself in the news. Already a laughing stock. In short, Meghan Markle's relentless campaign of spreading baseless rumors and sensationalist claims about King Charles and the royal family is not only infuriating, but also deeply damaging. Her continuous attempts to manipulate public perception with her unfounded allegations are a testament to her disregard for truth and integrity. Meghan's latest stunt, suggesting that King Charles is eagerly planning a reconciliation trip to the United States, is nothing more than a desperate ploy to keep herself in the headlines. This absurd narrative not only disrespects the king's dignity, but also insults the intelligence of the public. King Charles, a man dedicated to his duties and battling serious health issues, has far more important responsibilities than indulging Meghan's delusional fantasies. The audacity of Meghan to fabricate such stories reflects her unyielding ambition to stay relevant, even at the expense of others' reputations. She seems to have no qualms about dragging the royal family through the mud to satisfy her need for attention. Her actions demonstrate a blatant lack of respect for the institution that she once sought to be a part of and for the people within it. Furthermore, Meghan's insinuations about the king's intentions are not only unfounded but also harmful. They create unnecessary public unrest and divert attention from the real issues that the royal family is dealing with, including King Charles's health and his commitment to his duties. By spreading these ridiculous rumors, Meghan is undermining the stability and focus of the monarchy. Her behavior is a stark contrast to the values that the royal family upholds: dignity, duty, and service. Meghan's tactics are nothing short of a calculated effort to create drama and controversy, aiming to position herself as a perpetual victim. This narrative is not only tiresome but also dangerous, as it fuels misinformation and creates unwarranted public tension. King Charles deserves respect and support, not to be the target of Meghan's frivolous rumor-mongering. Her continuous spread of these baseless stories is an insult to his character and his lifelong dedication to his country. It is clear that Meghan's primary concern is maintaining her own public profile, regardless of the damage it causes to others. In conclusion, Meghan Markle's persistent dissemination of nonsensical rumors about King Charles is a disgraceful act of self-promotion. It is time for her to face the consequences of her actions and understand that the world sees through her charade. The public deserves the truth, and King Charles deserves the respect befitting his position. Meghan's attempts to manipulate and mislead should be condemned and stopped immediately. Meghan Markle needs to snap out of her midday fantasies and face reality. Her latest stunts and self-aggrandizing behavior are nothing short of a joke, and it is high time someone told her to stop living in a dream world. Meghan's constant need for drama and attention is not only pathetic, but also increasingly comical. For someone who claims to want privacy, Meghan sure spends a lot of time ensuring she remains in the public eye. It's as if she believes the world is holding its breath for her next move. But the truth is, most people are rolling their eyes at her antics. From her melodramatic interviews to her grandiose claims of royal conspiracies, Meghan's delusions have become a source of ridicule. Her attempts to portray herself as a misunderstood heroine battling against all odds are laughable. Meghan, you're not starring in a Hollywood blockbuster, this is real life. Your relentless pursuit of victimhood and self-promotion is fooling no one. The idea that the royal family is constantly plotting against you is a fantasy worthy of a soap opera, not reality. Meghan's latest maneuvers, claiming that King Charles is desperately trying to mend fences, are a prime example of her delusional thinking. King Charles, who has dedicated his life to duty and service, doesn't have time for Meghan's self-centered narratives. The notion that he's planning secret trips across the Atlantic to have heartfelt conversations with her is pure fiction. It's time for Meghan to wake up and realize that the world doesn't revolve around her whims. Her grandstanding and perpetual need for attention have turned her into a caricature. Meghan, if you truly want to make a difference, start by stepping out of your fantasy world and engaging with reality. Your endless cycle of drama and self-pity is not helping anyone, least of all yourself. The world has bigger issues to deal with than your latest imagined slight or fabricated scandal. Moreover, Meghan's fixation on maintaining her relevance through these outlandish claims only underscores her desperation. She needs to understand that true influence and respect are earned through genuine actions and integrity, not through a continuous barrage of sensational headlines. Meghan, your midday dreams and fantasies are not only delusional but also a distraction from the meaningful work you claim to care about. It is high time for Meghan to stop dreaming and start acting like a responsible adult. The fairy tale she seems to be living in is just that, a fairy tale. Reality awaits, and it's not as glamorous as she might hope, but it is where real impact can be made. So, Meghan, wake up, grow up, and stop daydreaming. The world has moved on, and it is time you did too. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.